My Lords, I thank your Lordship's House for its forbearance in allowing me to speak into the gap. And I want to echo many noble lords in congratulating the noble Lord Earl Kinnell on the excellence of his report. And I want to offer the Green Group's support to the noble Lady Baroness Hayter's amendment in the interests of democracy. I'm not going to repeat the many concerns expressed by Lords about what's happening with aviation, chemical regulation, Euratom, the ideologically driven direction that the government is taking, or indeed the concerns others have rightfully expressed about the lack of consultation with the nations. I also want to join Lord Barwell and many others in congratulating the noble Lord Kerr on his excellent explanation of the Northern Ireland situation, and I'm sure I'll be linking to that on Hansard many times in the future. I do just briefly, in terms of the report, want to draw attention to two issues, particularly paragraph 114 and 115, which highlights the disturbing divergence on the climate emergency and more broadly on sustainable development. Now, the government keeps telling us that they want to lead the world on the climate emergency and tackling the climate emergency, in which case we've yet to hear an explanation of why signing up to a level playing field, presumably a level much lower than we're aiming for, is a problem. I also want to draw attention to paragraph 104, which highlights the fact that the EU decision has a very specific and strong focus on small and medium-sized enterprises and how the arrangements will work for them, and it's unfortunate that there's nothing in government statements on those lines. However, the main part of my speech has another focus. I wish to compliment the House on its extremely strong concentration in the circumstances on the topic on which we're debating. I think we know, however, no one told me that. I think we know, however, that that's better, I can cope with that. I think we know, however, that the country, perhaps somewhat less than usual, is not focused on the deliberations on this chamber at this moment. And your Lordships may not know that as we've been debating, the Prime Minister apparently, I'm only quoting a paraphrase, says that Lords and MPs over 70 must stay away from Parliament. That really brings us to the words of Lord Cormac and the noble Lady Baroness Wheatcroft. Every government resource, every official attention, every bit of funding is going to have to go to managing the coronavirus. There is no capacity to deal with the huge questions we've been crossing over today. It would be a dereliction of duty to take attention away from the focus on the coronavirus. To be dismantling more than 40 years of close interrelationship with the EU and to establish new national rules on everything from aviation to trade, agricultural rules to workers' rights, with the entire country distracted, would be profoundly undemocratic and dangerous. The process has to be put on hold. We've already postponed the local government elections in May. If we can't manage to deliver basic democracy, have acknowledged that business as usual is not an option, then we need to do the same with Brexit. I'll conclude with agreeing with the noble Lady Baroness Noakes. She said this House should reflect the opinion of the country at large as currently constituted. I think the country wants us and the government to focus on the coronavirus.